Tiny, but very mighty. Let's get to it. Whoa! Hello wonderful people, Hannah here and welcome back to Insta360 TV for this special Insta360 GO 2 launch episode. We are going to unbox and go through all the new and exciting updates about this second generation camera. So without further ado, let's get to it. Before we even open this thing, I'm just going to do a quick overview of what's different about the GO 2 compared to the first generation. We still have the tiny and mighty form factor, but the GO 2 has been redesigned from the inside out. First up is image quality. The previous generation, the maximum was 1080p, but now we're up at 2.7K video. Match that with a higher bit rate, so it's now 80 megabits per second compared to the previous 40. Stabilization. GO 2 has a better in-camera stabilization compared to the previous generation. I'll get to more details on that later. When shooting in Pro mode, you can lock the horizon no matter which direction you move your camera. You can also change the screen ratio after the fact and add keyframes so your shot is ready for wherever you want to share it. We're out having an adventure, so we need a camera that's durable. That is why the GO 2 is now IPX8 waterproof with replaceable lens guards. The previous generation was just splash proof, so now we're going to be getting some great underwater clips. And with all this adventure, we need good battery life and a better clip recording length, which has now been upgraded, as well as the accessories, but you need to keep watching to see what upgrades we've got there. The GO 2 now has a bigger storage, 32GB compared to 8, a new updated MP4 video format, as well as some new creative uses like night shot, pure shot. But personally, I think that's enough talking, and now we can get to the unboxing. Size is very impressive, but now it's time to dive into the specs very briefly. In the first generation, recording length was a little bit of an issue. So with GO 2, you can now shoot up to 10 minutes with Pro stabilization, 30 minutes in FPV mode, and for time lapse using adjustable intervals, you can shoot for up to 110 minutes using the charge case, and that's going to give you a 7-minute clip. The lens FOV of GO 2 is 150 degrees. Has a minimum focus distance of 45 centimeters, and the equivalent focal length is 11.24 millimeters. When exporting, you have 4 FOV options: ultra wide, action view, linear, and narrow. And when you shoot in Pro mode, you can change the screen ratio either when you're shooting or when you export. As I mentioned previously, it is waterproof up to 4 meters. It's got a little handy scratch-proof lens, as well as a connection range of 10 meters in the line of sight. I mentioned in the intro, but the battery life has also improved. It varies on your terms of use if you're using it standalone with different types of stabilization, as well as using the charge case. But a massive upgrade from the first generation, so you're fully powered for all of your adventures. Next up is where things get interesting, and that is the accessories that are all included in the box, which you'll get if you buy this camera. So one of the coolest upgrades is this new charge case for the GO 2, which now comes with a little OLED screen, as well as buttons which act almost like a remote. But the best part is, this isn't just a charge case. You can also use it here to hold the camera, take your selfies, and it's got these little foldable legs that come out here, so it also acts as a tripod, which is super handy when you're out on the go. And it's got a Type-C connection, and this thing charges super quickly. So if you charge the case itself for 47 minutes, you're going to get 80%. If you charge for just over an hour, the case is going to have 100%. And you'll see here the camera goes nice neatly inside there, and to fully charge your camera, it's even faster. So if you charge for around 20 minutes, you're going to have 80% battery, and just over 30 minutes, the camera's going to be at 100%. So you don't need to stop too much throughout your day. So I mentioned the Type-C connection. We've got our little cable right here, and we've got the sticky base, which can be used multiple times. Just splash some water on the back here, and then you're ready to go again. And this little back part is gonna keep nice and safe so it stays sticky throughout all of your shootings, and you can adjust it to any angle you want. I like this personally for cooking shots, but as I say, you can stick this pretty much anywhere. And my favorite from the previous generation is this magnet pendant. This for me is the ultimate POV camera. So just with the magnet pendant on here, under your shirt, and stick the Go on like so. And the final one is for those of you who can actually look good with wearing basketball caps, which certainly isn't me. It's the easy clip, so you can see here, you just put it onto your baseball cap, or sometimes I put it on my sunglasses if you've seen my previous episodes, and it's got this fantastic adjustable angle, which means you can get all different types of POV when you're using this accessory. So for the final part of this episode, I'll show you some extra special bits that make this camera a little bit more special. Let's get to it. So a massive upgrade with the Go 2 is the power that you have when you're using your camera with your phone. So you just connect wirelessly and it allows you to live preview so that you can make sure your shot is framed perfectly as you're shooting it, as well as having access to adjusting your manual settings. So if you want a little bit more control over your image, then you have those controls at your fingertips. Also in the app, you have more access to new updated creative shot lab applications, as well as an updated Flash Cut AI editing. So at the end of the day, if you can't be bothered throwing that editing together, Flash Cut will do it for you and create a little highlight reel depending on what you've done in that day. And another thing which I like, especially if you're out and about in adventure, I mentioned the rugged lens. So it's already pre-installed on the Go, but you'll see the lens guard can be screwed off like this. That's if you get any scratches or, Lord forbid, anything bad happens to your lens, you just take this off and you can buy a replaceable lens guard. And for those of you that like something a little bit more funky, we have a Minions edition. If Minions are your thing, we have Minions editions available in certain regions throughout the world. And if you are an OG Go user, you'll remember on our Insta360 store, you could get a personal engraving option. That is no longer available, but what we do have is that you can personalize the skin of the Go. So there's a template. If you buy from the Insta360 online store, we have some stock templates if you want a different color, or you can personalize it with your own image. So that is the extra bits. I hope you guys are excited as I am. And if you have any more questions about this camera, just leave a comment down below. I'll be chilling out there answering all of you guys' questions. Thanks again for watching. Spread the love, and I'll see you next week.